We're off of the lows, and the usual suspects are getting hit, but not that much. First, just take a look at the China stocks, the ones that trade here in the United States, your Baidu, your JD, your Ichi, JD.com, all of them, they're all down about 2%. That's sort of to be expected there. Baidu doing a little bit better. Some of the other ones, the sectors here in the United States, you know, semis are proxies for the business. The tariff wars, materials and industrials also proxies. They're down. Energy's been bouncing around. Oil's down a little bit here as well, and that's impacting them. Take a look at the material names and steel names. They're all down, so you get your usual BHP Billiton and Freeport to the downside, along with some of the steel names as well. My producer, Kirsten, and I have had a very amusing morning reading the list of tariffs that are subject to the 10% tariffs. It's 200 pages. 200 pages listing with all the numbers associated with them. What's interesting here, furniture, apparently virtually all furniture imported from China is going to be included in this. So you see Restoration Hardware getting hit there. I see Williams-Sonoma, you see At Home Group. I know Restoration Hardware imports a lot of Chinese furniture, 77% of its volume imported from Asia. That's according to a Goldman Sachs report I just saw. So China furniture tariffs. This is one of these little spaces you might want to look at. How does these things work? Well, China apparently supplies 65% of the furniture imported to the United States. $28 billion in value a year. So what do you do if you're a company that we just showed up there? Do you pass through the cost? Do you absorb them? Do you shift it to another supply chain? That's the issue these companies are going to have to face. Apparel and footwear were excluded, but for example, handbags were included. This is a sort of willy-nilly list. So Tapestry, which owns Coach, they're down. Kors is down a little bit. I know Tapestry has stuff in China, but they also have production facilities in Vietnam. Do you shift them around? These are the kinds of things these companies are going to have to consider. Elsewhere, the PPI numbers, this is a separate but very big story. Very hot, much hotter than expected here, highest in 7 years. And I think we're seeing some impacts. This is going to get the inflation hawks going here. WD-40, which uses a lot of petroleum products, obviously, was out with its earnings. They generally were good. Guidance was lower, but look what they said about inflation. Unfortunately, we're continuing to see the impact of higher commodity prices, which have begun to deteriorate our gross margin in all three of our operating segments. To combat this margin pressure, we have made some price increases to ensure our gross margin remains in line. In other words, they are decided to pass on the cost. We'll see if that works or not. WD-40 is trading down. They did beat, but the guidance was a bit lower, and I'm sure that's concerned about eroding gross margin is impacting them as well. This could be a story going forward here. Separate story. Down 157, Carl. Back to you.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.